Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Left 4 Dead 2 on the ROG Ally, so 1080p. We're targeting obviously 120 on this one. When plugged in, you can do either 25 watts or 30 watts. I'll say 30 watts since we're already plugged in, so let's take everything about our system. And well, what to say about Left 4 Dead 2 that you don't already know? Well, the game works very well with mods. I have quite a few mods installed, mostly for weapon animations, some of the effects on screen, all that good stuff. As you can see, we're inside the VRR window. Although maybe due to the smaller screen, you probably want to use 2 times MSAA. 4 times I think it's a little bit too much. Alright, so 2 times MSAA instead of 4 times, you're not going to notice much of a difference. And considering the Ally screen is 120, we usually stick to that target just fine. The thing is, we're at 30 watts, so yeah, this is for plugged in to the wall users. But you can drop it to 25 watts if you're using a slower charger instead of the ROG one. And if you're not plugged in, we're obviously going to drop that wattage quite a bit.
Reloading. I'm a reload.
Alright. The thing is, when the big amount of zombies shows up on screen, most of the time it's completely fine, especially on the GPU side. The thing is, the CPU, when we get more enemies on screen, which we're doing right about now. Whoops. So you'll see more drops. But it's okay, it's still way above 60 FPS. And when using a controller, you're not going to notice it as much. I'm not a fan of using a controller on Left 4 Dead. But hey, we're playing portable Left 4 Dead 2, so what's not to like? Come on, where are you? I think I got him. And I, on purpose, chose this level due to the heavy rain, which looks pretty good, at least in my opinion. So, also by the way, I'm charging the battery. It's at 85% now. Oh man. But the CPU is basically at 30 watts maximum. That's why we can have such a high frame rate. But anyway, let's swap into Handheld and see how it fares at 18 watts instead. Welcome back to Left 4 Dead 2, now in Handheld at 18 watts. As you can see, I'm getting still hundreds of FPS, but there's nothing going on screen. Also, make sure that when you launch the game, that it's through Steam Big Picture, just due to the fact that the controls are very easy to configure through Steam Input. Outside of it, doesn't look that great when it comes to controls. It's hard to remap them. And using Steam Input, you actually get the correct prompts on screen. So that's my advice for this one. But as you can see, even at 18 watts, we can get very good frame rates at 1080p with 2x MSAA. You can get higher if you lower the resolution. I don't think it's necessary. The only issue here is that the frame rate can go past the screen's refresh rate, so you're going to see screen tearing pretty often, which is not perfect. But hey, it's one of those trade-offs. You can either enable VSync, so the panel only enables VSync when you go past 120, so it stays there, or you can lock the frame rate using Riva Tuner or the AMD driver, so you don't go past 120.
Get ready. I'm hitting the power for the
But when there's a lot of enemies on screen, you're going to basically drop below 120 super easily, so
Coming.
no surprise over there. But hey, unsurprisingly runs very well. As you can see, at 18 watts it can drop into the 80s due to the amount of enemies. So we're well inside the VRR window. But again, here we are for battery life. This is like 90 to 100 minutes of battery. It says that we have some nice 69 minutes of battery left. We're at 80% battery, so at a full charge should be, yeah, 90 to 100 minutes of battery. Maybe a little bit more. And if you look into 60, it will be even more battery life. And if you drop it to 720p and lock it to 60, even more battery, but not a huge amount of difference. Just don't go below 18 watts if you want a good experience. That's my advice. Also, this level is more demanding than what we're used to in Left 4 Dead 2. Plus some mods here and there, mostly cosmetic stuff, like the reloads and animation. That's what I like tweaking in video games like this. I bring over the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 animations for the guns. Okay, what the... What's behind me? So you can find every mod that I used down in the description. I have a complete list, so you can get exactly the mods that I subscribe to with the push of one button. And well, by just getting into the Steam Workshop, you can actually get the mods right away. They will download automatically once you download Left 4 Dead 2. So super practical and easy to get those mods going. So that plus the good battery life and the very crispy 1080p resolution. It's a great experience. I wish we had trackpads on the ROG Ally. That really does make a difference in my opinion, at least when it comes to those Steam Deck comparisons. Because it also runs fine on the Steam Deck. You can run it at over 60, no problem, but on the Steam Deck we only have a 60Hz panel. With the OLED Steam Deck as a comparison, you can probably hit 90Hz without much of a problem. So the issue with the ROG Ally is that sometimes it goes above 120, so we get screen tearing. So basically first world problems. I hear him, but I cannot see him. There you go. With these two atoms. As you can see, like right now, we're over 120.
That's what I'm here for.
But the thing is, when there is a good amount of zombies on screen. But this is a great portable game, at least in my opinion. Especially considering how well it runs at just 18 watts. I wouldn't really go to 15 watts. That would be a big performance hit. But you can do it if you want to. A couple extra watts saved. Let's do that super quick. So we're into the 80s, and if we drop to 15 watts, that is the minimum, to say it in some way. At 15 watts, we drop into the 70s, okay, into the 60s actually. So it's a big FPS hit that I wouldn't take for a bit more battery. And we're screwed. But it works. Maybe lower the resolution to 900p or 720p before targeting 15 watts. But the main issue there is that the CPU really does need something like 18 watts to That's the sweet spot. Just try not to get lower than 18 watts, and you should be good. Battery life is still pretty decent. So that's Left 4 Dead 2 on the ROG Ally. I'm pretty impressed how often it hits over 100 FPS despite being an older game. And it looks great, plays great, just cap it to 120, maybe using the VSync option. But overall, great experience, highly recommended, check them out in the description, and I'll see ya next time. Bye guys, thanks for watching.